name's Jenny Thorpe and I actually come from Whitefield. I've lived in Whitefield most of my life. Well, I'm a trustee of Early Break now. I've been a trustee for about 4.5 years, but I've actually been involved with Early Break since 1995, which is the year after it started. Well, for a long time I was a youth worker when I was younger, and I had a long break in between when I ran my own business, and then I decided to go back into youth work, and it was through managing a part-time youth centre, or a full-time youth centre but part-time, in Elton. And Mike Twigg, who was involved with the start of Early Break, he was a chair of trustees at one time, he actually approached me and said that this new organisation had started and would I be interested. So I went and did a counselling course with Barbara Jack, who started the organisation, and I started doing sessional work. Well, I mean, it's an organisation that's grown so much over the years. I mean, when we started, when I started, we didn't even have any offices, and Barbara and Ian Clements, who was the main guy, with Barbara, who started Early Break off, and we just worked by telephone. But it's grown so much, and it's just got a fantastic ethos. The fact that it's a very person-centred organisation, and the young people that we work with are at the heart of it. As a trustee, it was quite a leap for me to change from being first a sessional worker, then a manager for Early Break for a short time, and doing all the other work that I did. Trustees have to look at it in a slightly different way, because we're there to sort of support the people who run the organisation, and to actually make sure they've got everything in place to make sure the finances are in the right place. And I had to do quite a bit of learning when I started that, so I have done some training and I feel a bit more confident about it now. I couldn't think of one actually, apart from maybe in the days before I went back into youth work, I actually built and ran my own Keep Fit club for a couple of years. I don't know whether that's interesting or not. Well, I mean, as far as my background's concerned, I started going to a youth club in my, when I was only a teenager, and got very involved in the managing of that. And ultimately, my first husband and I used to manage a voluntary church youth club. And then after he sadly died, I actually gave up doing that and did a whole load of other things. And I used to run an agency for counting machine operators. I've worked for Bolton Lads and Girls Club, and been a part-time youth worker. So, and I ultimately ended up being the drug education consultant for Bury and Rochdale, working with Headley schools. I'm definitely an early bird, because I've been retired now from full-time employment for about 2.5 years, and I'm still up at 7 o'clock every morning. Yes, I have. When I managed the youth centre in Elton, we did a huge alcohol project on alco pops. They'd just about started to become prevalent, and we put on a play at the Met Arts Centre in Bury, and it was during Alcohol Week that year, and Stuart Flinders from Look North West came to interview me in the centre, and it went on the evening news. Well, people said to me when I was working full-time that you'll never retire, you'll never be able to give up working. But actually I found it really easy, because I could do whatever I want, when I want. I love my garden, I grow my own vegetables, and if there's an exhibition of art on at some gallery or other, I can just go off and see it, or I can go to the theatre, or we eat out, or we go walking, so all of the above really.